Welcome to the Jamesburg Presbyterian Church. Today is Wednesday, October the 20th, 2021. Good to know that there are people watching on Facebook. I'm glad to know that there are people already watching on YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm very honored that you spend this time with me. So on Sunday, I did a renewal of marriage vows. This is for a couple who I had previously married, but because of COVID, they had to cut back significantly on their plans. But this past Sunday, they were able to have more of the wedding ceremony, more of the wedding day that they had planned than they had when we actually did the wedding in the first place. So it was a renewal of vows. And since I had already done the wordy sermon the time before, I thought that this time I would do a kind of magical sermon. Neither of them knew that I was going to do this, so it was a complete surprise for them. And I seldom get ovations for my sermons, but this one got me an ovation, and I appreciated that. But I thought of what I did, I liked, and I thought I would share it with you today because all of us have relationships, whether those relationships are with friends, with colleagues, with church members, with other family members, with siblings, with a significant other. All of us have relationships, and the things that I said to that couple that day on Sunday are applicable to all of our other relationships to one degree or another. So I started off with, and I did a smaller thing so it could fit in my pocket, smaller bag. I have a smaller bag like this, and I had some handkerchiefs, and I took the handkerchiefs out and handed them all to the bride. Since I don't have an assistant here, down here, I'm just going to put them on the table. Showed them that the bag was empty. And then said, I asked the bride to give 2 of these handkerchiefs to the groom, which she did. And then I said, 4 of the most important ingredients in any relationship are the following. The first is communication. And I asked them to identify one of these colors as communication. The color really doesn't matter. I told them that whatever they chose was the right answer. So let's just pick the yellow handkerchief here. And I said that communication comes in a number of different ways. We do facial expressions, we do word communications, we do tone communications, we do language communication. But if we're not communicating the way we want to communicate to a person, then we're making a huge mistake. Communication is an important ingredient in any relationship. We have to be able to share our vulnerabilities. We have to be able to share the truth, what we're thinking, what we're feeling with people, so that they have a fair representation of who we are at that given moment. So communication is an important ingredient. We're going to say that yellow is communication, and what we're going to do is I'll show you again, the bag is empty. We're going to take communication and put it into the bag. The second ingredient in a relationship, a successful relationship, is a sense of humor. That's something that our culture has lost. Now, in this culture, in this time period, anything we say can theoretically be offensive to anybody or everybody. Words that we use, words that we know in the English language, can be offensive to somebody. I just read an article yesterday in which the word woman, W-O-M-E-N, yes, you're hearing me right, is offensive to some people. So it's not even vulgar language that offends people. It is words that we typically use. But here's the point. None of us have a sense of humor anymore. We don't laugh at ourselves. We don't laugh at things that happen to us. We take all of life so seriously that we're running around constantly offended, constantly angry, constantly upset about something. Find a person and I can point out something in their life that has them upset, because as a culture, as a people, we have lost our ability to laugh. And that's really sad. So let's say, and again, it doesn't matter the color, let's say that red is the color we're using for sense of humor. The third important ingredient in a relationship is forgiveness. We have to be able to forgive ourselves, first of all, and we have to be able to forgive those around us. And sometimes we have to be able to forgive somebody before they even ask. Sometimes we have to forgive somebody before they even realize that they've done something to upset us. Forgiveness is an important element in our relationships with other people. Oftentimes people don't intend to do something that offends us, they don't intend to do something that upsets us or gets us angry. It just happens. It's part of human living. All of us need that characteristic in our lives to be able to give it to somebody. But we also need to be able to receive forgiveness from others, because all of us make mistakes. All of us say things we don't intend to say, or we didn't intend for whatever we said to be sounding like it does. Or we didn't intend to slight someone, we didn't intend to hurt someone. Sometimes we hurt the people that we care about the most, and it was unintentional. So we need to be able to forgive. We need to be able to forgive ourselves for things that we do. We need to be able to forgive those around us. And we need to be able to forgive people even before they ask. So far we have communication, making sure we're saying what we really intend to say, and we're saying it in the way we intend, and we're sharing who we really are. The second is sense of humor. We need to be able to laugh at ourselves, especially in those times when we do it wrong. And we need to be able to forgive ourselves and to forgive those around us unconditionally. And so we're going to say that, and it's just because it's at the top, green is that color. All right, we have one left, and we have one ingredient left, and that is unconditional love. We need to be able to love ourselves. We need to be able to love those around us unconditionally. And all these have a sense in which they're sewn together. They're not separated. You can't laugh at something if you're not communicating. You can't forgive unless you are laughing at something. If you're not taking some of the things that people do so seriously that we're torn down by it. Loving people unconditionally is part of all of this. Loving a person so that we're showing our care, we're showing our concern for that person, and even when they're having a bad day and they're not doing things exactly the way we want them to do it, we're able to still love that person. We're able to forgive that person because that's part of unconditional love. We're able to laugh off the nonsense in life. We're able to communicate about what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and we're able to communicate it consistently with who we really are. So this last one, and again, the colors don't really matter. Just as in the bridal thing, the colors didn't matter. Simply going to take and put this in the bag. Now, I said all of these things, every one of them, every one of these ingredients is bound together. We can have one of these things, or maybe two of these things, but if we don't have all of these things, it just doesn't work. So maybe we have a sense of humor and we laugh at everything, but we can't forgive anybody anything. Or maybe we can forgive people stuff, but we're taking life so seriously and ourselves so seriously that life is passing us by on a fast lane and we can't keep up with it. Or maybe we're not loving people unconditionally. And so when we do forgiveness, it's with, I forgive you, but I'm going to remember what you did and I'll hold it against you for the rest of your life. That's not true forgiveness, but it's something that a lot of people do. All of these things, these four elements, are bound together. Let's go through them again. Unconditional, or from the beginning, communication, sense of humor, forgiveness, and unconditional love. All these things are bound together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these four things back out. There we have them. And I'll show you the bag is empty. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. All these things, these four things, should be bound together in our lives. They should be a part of who we are. They're all intricately woven together, just as these handkerchiefs are intricately woven together. This is what our life should look like. Communication, sense of humor, not taking things so seriously, the ability to forgive unconditionally, and the ability to love unconditionally. And all these apply to ourselves as well to others. If we're giving these gifts to others but not giving them to ourselves, we're just as wrong as if we're just giving ourselves these gifts and not giving them to others. We need to keep God in our lives. All these things apply to God as well. We need to be able to communicate with God through prayer. We need to be able to laugh at the things in life that aren't that important. We need to be able to forgive others because we receive God's forgiveness, and we need to be able to unconditionally love God, even in our tough times of life, even in the times when we think that God is not there. So think about these things, the 4 elements of life, the 4 important ingredients in any relationship, and how they need to be intricately woven together as one. They just become who we are. We are who these are. Thank you very much for tuning in. I will be here on Sunday. I'm looking forward to that church service. Already have the bulletin finished. I'm good sometimes. See you soon. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.